hear chair yoga, do you think of grandma yoga? Hi, welcome to Mindful Yoga with Noelle. We are going to practice some mindful chair yoga, and this is for everybody. This is not just for somebody that can't get up and down off the floor. This is the whole idea, is making yoga accessible to everyone. So why don't you join me by getting a chair, and maybe if you need some extra support for your feet, some books. I have a yoga strap with me and a bolster, which you can use a pillow, and a blanket, which you can use a beach towel if you have to. You want to make sure that your chair is not going to slip. So I like to have it near a wall, or to have the stickies underneath it, or put a yoga mat underneath it. So let's take a seat. So just like any yoga, you want to become centered. And the great thing about chair yoga is that even if you have a desk job, or you're stuck someplace where you're seated for a long time, you can apply this yoga into your life during the day. So it's not like I have to carve out 30 minutes, an hour to do a yoga practice. So we are going to do just a 30-minute practice today, full body, head to toe, that is accessible for just about everyone to do. So always listen to your body. You never want to feel pain. So let's go ahead and just take a seat. We're going to come more to the edge of the chair if that's available with your back, to have awareness of the spine. And you just want to place your hands down on your knees to ground yourself, to really feel centered into the room, into the space that you're in. And as you close your eyes, just begin to breathe in and out through both nostrils. And as you do that, you feel yourself calm. Now, if you need to release the breath through the lips, please do so. Listen to your body as you're breathing here, and begin to imagine a line moving up and down the spine. Begin to press your hands a little bit more into the knees and roll the shoulders back to sit a little bit more erect, having your chin parallel to the ground. And begin to think of 3 things that you are grateful for. Then begin to think of 3 people that you are grateful for. And then think of 3 things that you could pay forward, meaning you could hand gratitude over today. And then go ahead and take another big breath in and focus on to the center of our heart chakra, the right at the sternum. And as you do that, you want to feel your sternum lift. Let your shoulders draw broad, and begin to envision a warm white light right at the center of your chest. And as you inhale, you feel that light become bigger. And as you exhale, feel that light all around you. And on to the next breath, we're just going to begin to take the right hand to the outside of the left head and just tip the right ear down towards the right shoulder, tucking the chin in towards the right part of your chest. Now, I like to go ahead and let this left arm hang heavy if you can. And as you let the arm hang heavy, loosen the fingers up. And usually hold for 5 breaths. So usually I like to think 1 breath from my thumb, and then bring my thumb to my pinky, to my index finger, to my middle finger, to my ring finger, and so on as you let the breath out. You could also breathe in, pulling the hand in like a light fist, and exhale, opening the hand. And then exhale, release. Bring yourself back into center. Go ahead and make some half semicircles, just really slow, mindful movement here to release the movement. then we go over to the opposite side. Left hand to the outside of the right part of the head. Tip that left ear down to the left shoulder. Right arm is dangling down by my side. And again, breathing in, touching my pinky, thumb to pinky, and then thumb to ring, thumb to middle, thumb to index finger, and then a nice thumbs up. And then let's take another breath in, making a light fist, and exhaling that breath out. Go ahead and semicircle the head here. And bring those arms up overhead. And exhale, open those arms up as you bend the elbows, bring them into your rib cage. Let's do that again. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring those hands down by your rib cage. Let's add a little bit more this time. Inhale, bring those hands up. Make connection with the hands. Bring them down into heart center to prayer. Again, bring them up, scoop. Exhale, bring down. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Keep this lighthearted. Focus on what you're thankful for. Remember, this is kind of a pause in your day to give yourself this self-love and gratitude. So let's change the direction we're going now. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open those arms and bring those hands back into heart center. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, open and bring to heart. One more time. Now opening up our side bodies. Let's reach up with that right arm, let that left arm dangle down to the side, or you can hold to the edge of the chair and just press over into that left space. Try to stay in both of your buttocks if you can. You can rotate and look up to the right space. I like to look down into the left space. It's less pressure onto my neck. And then inhale, exhale, switching sides. Thinking about moving with my breath each time. Again, moving here, here. One more time. Coming into center, hands onto the knees. Moving to cat-cow. Now, sometimes going to saggy cow can be a lot of compression onto the lower lumbar of the spine, so listen to your back here. We want to take that breath in, lift with the sternum, draw the shoulders forward, look up to where the ceiling and wall meet, or whatever focal point you have. And then as you exhale, you want to round that back slowly, because that low back is probably really tight from sitting today. Again, inhale, reaching up through the chest, breathing. Exhaling, rounding, keeping my feet firmly to the ground. If you have to place books or something underneath your feet to get a little bit firmer grip, please do so. So a couple more of these cats and cows, and if you want to, you could begin to kind of spiral the lower spine around as you move with this also to help undo the fascia that tightened around the lower lumbar. And come back into center. So we're going to go ahead and take the feet open just a little bit wider than our mat. And we're going to take a nice big breath in, and we're going to exhale, hinge over with a flat back, and inhale, rise up. Just pressing the hands into the tops of the legs. Go ahead and press down and lift up. So let's warm the chest up a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and turn towards my left, drop that right shoulder, look over to the left, and I'm going to press open just very gingerly through my right leg to feel my hip open a little bit here into a yogi squat, supported yogi squat. Go ahead and draw up, and then exhale, go over to the opposite side. Don't go any further than where it does not feel like a stretch. Don't press too hard. Just go nice and soft. Be mindful. And sometimes as I move through each pose, I try to think of something that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my sight. I'm grateful that I'm able to move my body. Every time I'm moving, I'm thinking of this. So it shifts and elevates my mood. and I'll feel more resilient after this practice. So we're going to move through a sun salutation. This is a great way to distribute your energy. Arms down by your side, Tadasana. Just lift long through the spine, take a nice big breath in. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Use the blocks if you need to or any support. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And I'm going to place my hands on top of my knees this time because we're going to lower down into a chaturanga. As I bend my elbows back to the side of my body, lift up into a cobra. So roll those shoulders back. Even take a breath in and maybe look left and then look right. And then we're going to go ahead and lower back down into that forward fold, reverse swan dive. Bring those hands back into heart center. From here, we're going to now move into our Utkatasana chair pose. I'm sitting in a chair. So we're going to go ahead and place the block in between the legs. Inhale those arms up to the sky. Exhale, bend those elbows open wide to goalie arms. Now when we do this, we're going to feel a nice release into the shoulders. And we're going to keep it moving, very fluid today. So as we move around, open those hands up, very jazzy hands today. And as you roll those shoulders around in the two opposite directions, begin to feel where the tightness is being held. And then begin to work a little bit slower where you feel the tightness is, and use your breath to focus to feel the release. So one more time. And then you're going to pause and press wide with those elbows. Take a breath in and pull that diaphragm up to feel the breath a little bit more. Take another big breath in, breath out. So let's add a little bit more spinal movement to this. I'm going to take a nice big inhale, lift the chest, and then exhale. I'm going to round forward, bring the forearms together, and then take that big breath in, and then exhale it out. Again, big breath in, breath out. One more time. And release those hands down by your side. As we release those blocks down by our side, let's go ahead and take our strap with us. So our upper body is nice and warm. Let's move to the lower part of our bodies. So I'm going to begin to take my left leg long, and I'm using a strap. If you don't have a strap, don't worry, because remember, yoga is not about touching your toes. And sometimes when we do touch our toes, if you have that ability, you're missing where the stretch needs to happen. So never look at props as a crutch. Look at them as a learning tool. So you still want to be able to feel yourself sitting quite evenly onto the chair. And I'm just going to very slowly feel myself sit up tall. And as I exhale, hinge forward through my hips, I want to feel that nice stretch light up through the back of my left leg. Now I want to relax my left toes also, but I'm going to go ahead and push forward like I'm pressing on a gas pedal with my left foot, and then pull up to begin to really lengthen my muscles, tissues, all that good stuff through my leg. Now I want to keep active with this right leg and hold inward. So if you feel like you're pronating outward with this right leg, you can hold a block here, and that will help pull the pelvic floor up to keep awareness of your bandhas, your core muscles. So as you're flexing and pointing, wherever you feel it the most, hold. I feel mine when I'm flexing. So then the next tip is I'm going to tip my left pinky toes out to the left. Hold the strap with the left hand. I even tuck the right hand behind you for a little bind here, and breathe. I usually think about 5 breaths here, like you're blowing birthday candles out above your toes. In each breath, you feel the stretch releasing a little bit more, adjusting. I'm still connecting with that block, and I'm going to bring myself back into center. And I'm going to tip my big toe inward just a little bit. And wowzers, there's my IT band. I'm going to go ahead and go a little bit deeper here. I'm going to take the strap over to my right. I'm going to bind with my left. Take another big breath in here. And release. that left leg. So what is nice to be able to release is to lift the legs up to feel a little bit of a release here. Take that big breath in, reach up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra. Exhale, back down to that forward fold. In reverse one dive, bring it all the way back up and pause. Just take a moment to feel one side of the body to the other. Let's switch to the other side. So again, I want to hold the block. You're going to see now how I'm controlling the left side. I'm going to take my strap, flex my foot, point flex a little bit here, sit tall, begin to work my way down, adjust to where I need to be. Make sure those left toes are even pointing forward too. And I'm going to go ahead and tip open with that right foot. Pull open just a little bit more. I'm going to bind with that left arm to feel the stretch. I'm squeezing that block to keep my core engaged, pulling that diaphragm up as I'm breathing in and letting those exhales out. Wiggling my toes to keep them soft. Go ahead and switch big toe, right big toe over into the left. Feel the outside of that right leg stretch. Taking another deep breath in, deep breath out. And release, moving those feet around, moving into our sun salutation. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, half flat back with a big smile on your face. Exhale, chaturanga. Pull into your cobra, roll those shoulders around. Exhale, fold it forward in reverse swan dive. So let's go ahead and stand up very carefully. We're going to go ahead and turn to the side now to move to gate pose to get more of a side stretch. So I'm going to place my left foot onto the chair, and it doesn't need to be a really wide stance. And if you need to do this where you're holding the wall onto one side, please do so, okay? I'm going to take that nice big breath in. I'm going to exhale, hinge over into my left side. I'm going to look at my left toes to feel that nice stretch. I want to pull up just a little bit out of that left side so I'm not dumping completely. And take a breath in to feel myself really opening through the right side of my body. So I'm going to press through that right foot, feeling the earth beneath me, press with that right arm. That left hand is actively pressing towards that left foot. Everything's being pulled into two directions, and then inhale, reach up with both arms. Exhale into heart center. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. We're going to drop that right arm down by our side. And I'm just going to slightly hinge over into my right space to feel the left side open. And then go ahead and exhale over now into a side angle. So we're going to go ahead and bend into that left leg. I'm taking my left arm to prop open. Now this right arm can bind behind you, stay on the hip. I'm trying to open up my side bodies from sitting. You can add movement in here too with the arm. Take that breath in and breath out. And then exhale and release. And then we go to the other side. So as I go to the other side, go ahead and place that right foot. Inhale those arms up to the sky. Try to keep those hips square. Keep your back cheeks slightly engaged. Exhale, hinge over. Feel that gate pose, the opening, rushing through that left side of the body. Pressing with that left foot, but still pressing with the right in the right hand. Feel that active energy. Inhale, reach up. Hinge over, opposite side. Keep a light bend into the right knee. And then exhale, hinge over again. And now let's begin to bend into that right knee, come into that side angle. Press that right arm into the right leg. Reach up with that left arm or bind behind you. Or again, if you want to make those movements with your arms, do so. Remember, this is a mindful practice. This is all for you. Take that breath in, breath out. being thankful and grateful that your body can do this. And exhale and release. So as we come back now, we want to go into a wide straddled split here. And there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. So if you want to go standing with this, you could go ahead and take your feet wide, and you could use a block in front of you if you would like. Bring your arms down to the chair and lower your forehead down. Now your toes are parallel. Do not tip your toes out here. Press the buttocks up and back and press a little weight into the ball of the foot. And as you do this, let your shoulders relax. So if you have no neck issues, you can remove that block. I like to hold it with my hands. Just place my palms of my hands onto the block to let the head just move side to side. And then from here, you could tip those heels in and bend the knees and drop down back into that kind of yoga squat, like goddess here, and then tip the toes forward and then hinge back. So anytime it becomes too much, release, and then go back to it. So here's your second option for a wide straddled split stretch. Take a seat. So you're at your desk. You have a table in front of you or your desk in front of you. Push your chair back a little bit, and you can lower your head to the countertop or your desk and rest. Or like how I have my yoga bolster here, and rest. Like so. If you'd like to go a little bit further, you could go ahead and open those feet up more. Ragdoll your hands, so you take your hands to opposite elbows and hinge forward. Make sure your buttocks are still feeling like they're touching the chair here. Make sure your belly breath is nice and big. And sometimes it's nice to make like a figure 8 symbol here to release the tension that you're holding into that upper part of your back. It feels so nice to release. Takes all that tension away. And if you let your tongue hang out, it will soften the neck. If you'd like to place the hands onto the mat, you can even bring your hands to the arms of the chair and pull through and relax that neck even more as you make some smiley face motions with your head. But when you come up, to go very slowly and not get dizzy. So as you slowly come up, we're going to go ahead now and move through a little bit of cat and cow again, kind of release what we just did. I'm going to come back to the tip of my chair, sit up nice and tall. I'm going to inhale, bring those arms up to the sky. I'm going to exhale, release my right hand to the outside of my left knee. I'm going to hold the block in between my legs. You don't have to. Again, if you're being cautious of keeping your core engaged and working on that pelvic floor, it's something to think about. So I'm pressing my right hand to the outside of my left leg. I'm going to take that left hand around the chair, and I'm going to like lift the crown of my head and twist and look over, try to look over my left shoulder, and then drop those left shoulders as you go there to feel this nice twist. And then go ahead and slightly come out of it again, and then we're going to go slowly back into the twist. One more time. Hold, breathe for 3 breaths. One more breath. Exhale, release back into center, cat, cow. And then we're going to go to the other side. That felt good, didn't it? So now I'm going to take the left hand to the outside of my right leg. Go ahead and twist. I'm holding my right hand to the side of the chair to help facilitate the twist a little bit more. Come out of it just a little bit. Do it one more time. And now we're going to hold for 3 breaths. Breathing in, letting the breath out. Again, another breath in. Let that breath out. One more time. Let the breath out and coming back into center. Go ahead and begin to bring that left ankle up towards that right leg, and I like to half butterfly it kind of, and like to place my right hand to the bottom of my left foot if you don't have shoes on. And move that foot around, soften the toes, and pressing into the heel of the foot. Feels so good. And then pause, and now I'm going to press down just a little bit with that left hand into that left leg. Now I'm going to flex that left foot just a little bit. Now I want to press down into the right foot into the ground. Sit up nice and tall, and you might begin to feel this nice hip stretch here already. So this is kind of like our pigeon or figure four. And exhale, hinge forward. Now I want to focus on keeping my low back as straight. I don't want to round it. I want to straighten it. So I want to think about my crown of my head first pointing towards an object above me, and then hinge about 45 degrees and feel. Take a breath here. And then as you feel and allow the stretch to happen, maybe you could go a little bit further and further as the stretch allows. Take another big breath in. Breath out. Can you press into that left hip a little bit more? Press into the right foot a little bit more. And then inhale, rise up. So let's lengthen now that psoas muscle that we just stretched. You're going to press forward and come up. So we just stretched it, and we want to keep it all stretched out. So sometimes when you feel like your sciatica, your hip on one side, the psoas muscle gets really tight. It's like laced in between all those lovely muscles. And when we sit, it gets really tight. So after you stretch it, if you kind of floss it like I'm doing here, it has a tendency to stay a little bit longer, accepts the stretch. Go ahead and bend that left leg. Let's do it on the right side. Go ahead and massage that heel of the foot again. Press down into that right hip just a little bit with the right heel of the hand, not too much. I usually go onto my thigh. I don't like to press onto my knee. Press into that left foot. Keep hinging forward. And then roll those shoulders back and take a really big breath in. And as you do this, you want to, again, only think 45 degrees. Feel where that stretch is happening. You might feel it on one side more than the other. I feel it more on this side. And then just focus on, again, what you're thankful for, so your muscles release. Because our hips hold a lot of stress besides our shoulders. Take another breath in. Maybe go a little bit further to feel a little bit more as you're breathing in and out. And then slowly bring yourself up. And then we go to that motion again. Pumping forward and back. Woo. And then bringing both feet down to the ground. So now I want to create a little bit more comfort for my back. I'm going to go ahead and take this blanket. Like I said, you could take a beach towel. I'm going to place it to the back of my chair. And I just want to let my arms open a little bit here. And I even like to place my hands maybe behind my head. And as I allow my elbows to open, you get a nice chest opener here. If you have a wall behind you like me, you can rest your head. My feet are onto the ground, and I'm letting my belly be soft. I'm not holding any muscles. I'm just feeling a nice release through my upper body here, getting my body ready for a short little shavasana. Sometimes opening and closing again here, like we did in the beginning, and then hold again will help release. You have that wall in there, you can open the arms up wide. And then slowly lift up and let go. Go ahead and place your feet onto the ground, your hands into your lap. If you'd like to, you can place your hands into a mudra, placing your hands, touching your thumb tips, letting your hands cup together. And I like to tip the chin in just a little bit, shoulders back, just to go inward. Take your gaze down, or take it with your eyelids closed. Or maybe you have something at your desk that brings you calmness, like a picture or a plant or a crystal or a statue that you just bring your gaze to. And we're just going to take a moment to focus on breath here. So I invite you to breathe in and out through both of your nostrils and out through the mouth. But on this next breath, we're going to go ahead and slightly close that right side of the nose and just breathe in and out through the left nostril. And try to see if you could seal your lips as you're breathing in and out through the left nostril. If you have to let the breath out through your mouth, do so. And let's switch sides. And then release your hands down and just take this next minute of silence. And then just slowly move your fingers, toes, roll the shoulders around, swallow. Bring your hands into heart center, or just place your hands onto your chest, whichever you feel comfortable with, wherever you're at. And just take this moment to be really grateful that you paused for 30 minutes to give yourself this self-care and self-love for yourself. To learn more about chair yoga, please send me a message to Mindful Yoga with Noelle. Have a great day. Namaste.